Yo, 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 you got Reg and the Zoo coming to you live from Buffalo.
It's Reg and the Zoo coming live from Buffalo. How's it?
Whoa. I was just about to ask you this.
I was about to ask you, how's it going? We're like completing each other's sentences now. This friendship has developed into something that is where our minds are connecting.
Yes, we're becoming one.
One.
So we're going to wrap up the week here.
Do it. That's cool.
Blow it up.
I'm glad we did that.
So we're going to wrap up the week here. We wanted to do a podcast. You know, we're going to keep it a little short today. We both had kind of a long day with work, kind of a long week.
Yeah, you'll hear about my day.
Yeah. But so, as you know, we're live YouTube, or we're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, finally on Google Podcasts now,
You can find us on the Googs.
You know what sorry about that. I didn't mean to cut you off, but you know what the funny thing is there's no way to actually submit to Google Podcasts.
Really?
There's no way to just submit to it. They kind of scrape it off the internet.
This is interesting because I joined a Facebook group also for podcasters around the world united, and there was a lot of interesting like questions and answers on there.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
almost like a forum. It's kind of what I have for my car actually. There's like a the Focus ST forums and stuff. So anytime something goes wrong with your car, pretty much it's up in that forum and somebody has an explanation for it. It's really cool.
Yeah, there was a lot of people on there. It was like it had a lot of rules and stuff. Like you couldn't like promote your own stuff supposedly, even though I saw a few people. And then it like told you that you had to introduce yourself and your show in the beginning, like after you get tagged in the intros. So I did. I introduced us. I basically said Reg in the Zoo is comic relief from life's struggle in so many words.
I'd agree with that.
Because I think that's why I'm here anyway.
Well, yeah, I mean...
if you boil it all down.
Yeah, well, what I was going to kind of
say
is...
To the horse glue.
You know, that was really exciting to see. Obviously, we don't have that many hits yet. I mean, we're just starting out. But the amount that we do have, it was like, dude, I couldn't wait to post more because it's... You know, that first episode had a lot. Yeah, and then the other ones are catching up, dude. So it's like, I can't wait to just get more content and more content. So what I've been doing a lot in my spare time, you know, when we're not here, obviously, is just looking at ways to grow your podcast. A lot of the things that it says, and obviously, you know, if anybody's listening that's trying to start their own too, is just create as much content as you can. Try to keep the production value as high as possible. And just be yourself for the most part. I mean,
makes sense.
We could be doing this with cell phones, you know, but
yeah,
we kind of wanted to get the feel of having these mics and everything. And now it's like, I feel super comfortable every time I come in here. Even the first time we went on, I was a little nervous, but I don't think it showed too much because we were just kind of fucking around.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's just, I just can't get over what a good feeling it is every time we're done talking. It's like, dude, we got so much off our chest. Because there's a lot that we don't actually put up, on Spotify or YouTube. So there's a lot of content that we kind of just look at ourselves and laugh at and all that.
And I think that the more we put down, the more... that stuff, even though it ages, a lot of the conversations, the better we get at it, the better the conversations will age.
Yeah,
and like
totally agree.
I realize something that now that we have a sort of a channel in a way, not of like a TV channel, but in the same right, but also a channel to use our voice, as I got to make sure to talk into the microphone better.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. It's kind of funny. I mean, you back up a quarter of an inch and you're already quieter, and it's like, so
we're learning. We're little babies in this world. But one of the things that I noticed was a lot of people were just talking about doing audio and not even considering video. So I wanted to give you a little pat on the back for that. I thought that's pretty cool. And there was something else I was going to say, but I don't really remember. Whatever.
You know what? It's going to be like that other episode we did where you just kind of remembered.
Exactly. It
half
happens.
Hour from now, it's just going to pop in your head.
It happens. So we're just going to keep it rolling.
But no, dude, I'm super happy with the amount of traffic we're getting. I'm not expecting crazy amounts of people, and that's totally cool. But even if people are only listening for a few minutes, it's fucking awesome, dude. I don't care at all. It's fucking great.
Yeah, I was thinking, now that we do have a channel, where is what I was saying before. But now we have a channel that we can use our voices to speak on things. It not only is cathartic in a sense for us to talk out loud and get thoughts out and create, but also if we start, making our critiques or making predictions or talking proactively about things that are upcoming, it'll actually be on record, legitimately on record, which actually makes your authority on matters actually exist. You know what I mean? So like, if we weren't getting this stuff on record, if we say we talk about Ben Affleck's new movie, or we talk about something that's upcoming, whether it's sports related, show related, whatever, we kind of put something on record, and then we're not the corny douchebag at the party that says, I saw that first.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if we know we did, or no, that I like that. I never even thought about that until
Yeah, I
now.
thought about it on the way over. I had
That's
a weird
nice.
day.
Yeah, dude, what an eventful day for you, bro.
It was an extravaganza of emotions.
Dude, I can imagine. I can totally imagine.
Yeah, I don't even know. Like, I feel like at the age of 30, I handled it decently well from an emotional standpoint. But to clue everybody in, actually, because I didn't say it, my little baby boy cat, Boris, he's a cat. He got out. I accidentally left the window open last night. I live on a first floor apartment around the Elmwood Village and here in Buffalo, New York. And I left the window open, and unfortunately, the reason I left the window open was because I had ordered 2 semi-custom / bunk jerseys from a little website on the normal web, not on the dark web, but I bought these 2 jerseys from Singapore, and I was scared that they were going to have the coronavirus on them,
shit,
so I
dude,
hung them out the
Singapore.
window, and then I forgot when I took them out of the window after they had properly dried enough, and I felt safe to put them on because they aired out because I was fucking loony about it. I accidentally left the window open overnight, and Boris got out.
So he definitely got out overnight. That was, do you know, like the last time you saw him was just before bed, probably.
Well, yeah, my girl said something about like where is he last night, but we didn't think anything of it because he's.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I woke up this morning at like 8, and immediately just was like walking around, which I've walked around from the night before at like 7 in the morning and like felt weird. But nothing feels weirder than when a guy opens up his door and he's like, "What's up, bro? Can I help you?" And he's in his PJs and he's like shirtless, and I'm like, sorry, man," as I'm in his driveway with a bag of cat treats, and I'm like, "I'm sorry, bro. I'm looking for a cat." And then I realized I don't have a pen and paper. I'm like, I don't have my phone because I was frantic, but I
No, dude, I
maintained
hear you.
decent. I maintained calm. But the one thing that got me is she was like, "Can you go like look over on Elmwood because there's more traffic over there?" And she's like, "You just see if he's," and I'm like, "Dead?" And I'm like, "There's no fucking way he's dead. He would. There's no way this is the
You would
end
have
of
a
his
feeling.
story."
You'd have a real feeling if
I
something like
did
that
have some
happened.
bad feelings today about it, but I drove around. It actually, it was pretty remarkable that I saw a lot of power.
Keep talking.
Yeah.
So I can hear you. I just gotta.
Okay. So Matt's gonna disappear for a second, but that's okay.
I'm listening.
I found a pretty remarkable the way that people responded on social media, and I also, did a lot of kind of semi-frantic, semi-weird running around of the neighborhood.
Sorry about that.
It's all right, bro.
I
Broski.
realized I didn't lock my car, and we're not in really the best neighborhood.
I didn't lock my car, but you know what? Nothing they can take from me can take my.
I got a decent amount of shit in my car
Yeah.
that I don't want them to get.
Good for you, bro.
Yeah.
So,
Back to your story.
I was
Sorry
just
about
saying I found it remarkable the amount of human compassion people showed for me just because it was a lost cat. And I ran into several people along my journey. I stopped into a little shoe store on Elmwood. I stopped into a laundromat on Elmwood. I talked to several people who were all like extremely encouraging to me, like strangers, like of all different colors and creeds or whatever you want to call us. But, all different people, all different backgrounds and dialects, all were just so nice to me. And even on the interwebs, like the one guy told me to get the Nextdoor app, and I put it on there, and like mad people shared it. And then I put it on Facebook, and mad people shared it. And like I had old ladies calling me, asking me if I found him yet. And yeah, I felt like a little boy in that when you were a little kid and people really felt bad for you. That's a little bit like what it felt like. Like, it was nice to see, though, that exists in our world because of how weird of a life we live.
Yeah.
In this era. But I could see your eye directly.
Yo, that's what I'm trying to do, bro.
I could see your eye directly
Right?
through that.
Yo, like, I'm like dead
It's
on.
like the all-seeing eye.
Dead on this one, dude.
I have a tattoo of the all-seeing eye on my ribs. I think I showed you at work.
Yeah, I remember
before.
that, yeah.
No homo. But that's okay if you're a homo. I'm not a homo.
Yeah, we're going to cut that part out first.
We can say homo.
No homo, dude.
We could say homo, no homo,
Dude.
whatever. Doesn't
Oh,
matter.
Man.
It doesn't matter.
Dude.
We could have a homo on the show. I don't know what the big deal is. Matt is clearly uncomfortable talking about people that are homosexual, but it's all right. So we're going to have somebody on here that's maybe LGBT.
I'm just trying to do the other thing, dude. I got my
Don't do
spot.
the eye
I'm right
thing.
up next to the mic.
Don't do the eye thing when we're talking about homosexuality. Homo sapienism.
All right, I guess I'll look that way.
Homoeroticism.
But I feel like I'll be ignoring you if I'm not looking at you while you're talking to me.
And this is why you're here, ladies and gentlemen, so that you can just step away from your lives, hear about my cat, hear about my saga, hear about the power of the human spirit, because that's what life's all about. And I almost said babies, because I listen to fucking Chris D'Elia so much that he's had a profound experience. He's had a profound influence is the word I'm looking for. I always think of that SpongeBob episode where he's like looking for something in his brain and he's like, where is it? Where is it? And he's like looking through all those filing cabinets and like crashing through everything. Do you remember that episode?
No, I never really watched SpongeBob.
Damn, dude.
Dude, when that came out, I was too old for cartoons.
No.
Dude, the last
Nobody's ever too old for SpongeBob.
the last cartoon like I ever watched that was like Nickelodeon based was Rocket Power,
Rocket Power was pretty sick.
right? Otto. I wanted to get
Otto. Is he the one with the backwards hat? Oh, no. He's the guy at the surf shop.
No, Otto's like the leader of like the little kids.
Okay. Who is Rocky? Was there a Rocky?
Otto's like the only one I remember.
I thought that it was Otto the
I
one
think Rocky
with the
might have
sister.
been. Yeah.
I thought Rocky was the one with the sister.
No, Otto was.
Oh.
Otto was like the best at everything, like surfing, skateboarding, all that stuff.
Yeah, he was
the best.
always the best at everything.
Man, whatever. That was a good show. That
They
show
should
was
do
awesome.
a reboot, and they should be all grown up.
They should do like live action reboot.
Yeah, like Disney.
Michael Bay,
Hey, Disney,
Ninja
go
Turtle
ahead, buy
style.
it, and then bastardize it and do it over again.
Dude, Nickelodeon never, really kept up with the cartoons and stuff they used to when they had Doug, Rugrats, Real Monsters, and shit like that.
I'll be honest.
Even SpongeBob?
I feel like there was a time where all of a sudden anything animated became too childish. Other than like The Simpsons or Family Guy,
Yeah. Even Family Guy got kind of old for me after a while.
I'll still pop
but
it
I
on.
still watch it.
Yeah, it's still got some like really good parts.
I think I just watched it so many fucking times that
Yeah.
I just kind of like, it's not funny anymore because I
Yeah.
know exactly what they're gonna do.
It's a strange experience sitting down and watching Family Guy. You almost feel pathetic. Like, I am why this show exists watching this right now.
I am who I am.
I am who I am.
Oh yes, Mr. Wayne. I was beginning to breakfast. I just kind of want to do a whole show talking like Bane. Oh yes. It would be really sound really intrigued when you say something. Oh yes, I was feeling the same way.
Yes. Mr. West. I always like that guy from You may be dark tonight on the outside, but on the inside, you are yellow.
Oh, what is that from?
You just mentioned it the other day. on the
Wild
pod.
Wild West, right?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
where he fucking pulls the thing and they both fall out of that
Oh
big
my
spider.
God. Yeah.
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 Such a great scene.
That guy had a really cool beard.
Yeah, he did.
Not
have a
really
good beard.
not really the best movie, but
It is like
had some you
kind
know
of like
good
it.
parts.
I kind of like it. I kind of always loved it for some reason.
Well, that movie that Tim Burton Superman movie that they were gonna do, the budget went to Wild Wild West, and then that spider. So me and Mike, we did a kind of like podcast, just kind of fucking around for like an hour the one day, and we kind of talked about it. That spider, the giant spider in Wild Wild West. The whole reason that that's there is because the producer of the movie, I keep forgetting his name. I'll have to Google it. I'm going to put it down right here because he's a dick.
He'll put it in the comments.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
But he wanted in the Superman movie that he was producing, that was the Tim Burton one. He wanted a giant spider. He wanted Superman to fight a giant spider.
Yeah.
And then, you know, that budget goes to Wild Wild West.
Yeah.
And then
goes to Will Smith's fucking
and then he ends up
pocket.
getting his fucking spider that he wanted. And that's kind of like a funny joke because Kevin Smith initially wrote the script. You know, Silent Bob.
Yeah.
He was called on to write the script. This is after like Clerks came out, and I think another couple movies that he did. And then he wrote the script, took it to this producer. They were starting to get it rolling, and then Tim Burton came on. Kevin Smith got fired, and they started like reconstructing the whole script and everything.
That was the Superman one
This is the Superman one
with Nick Cage and
Nick Cage as
Christopher
Superman,
Walken.
Christopher Walken as Brainiac.
It's still gotta happen.
I think I want to say that they initially did still want to do Kevin Spacey as Lex Luthor,
yeah.
like they had in the older one.
Oh, but and then
Possibly.
he fucking became a piece of shit.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit now.
Dude, I watch all of his roles now, and I just get sick to my stomach thinking like, oh, this is how he really is, Kevin Spacey.
I think of him in the House of Cards show that he was doing. I
Yeah.
feel like he's that person.
Oh,
like,
for
you know
sure.
what I mean? Like
it's
that's-
every role that he plays.
that's why
he's
he
like
was-
this domineering, like almost
Yeah.
pseudo homosexual man that's like
He's a-
intimidating and might like predatorily have you murdered if you
Yeah.
talk.
I mean, he's a jerk in real life, obviously. Great actor, you know. But
Did you
just
ever
fucking
see
piece of
Baby
shit.
Driver?
Yeah,
Great.
he was
movie.
a piece of shit in that movie too.
Same
kind of though. Towards the end, he kind of
Baby
sacrificed
Driver
himself.
and the movie 21 are basically
It's kind of like
the same
thing,
movie.
except one's based on like
Cards.
cards and stealing money, or cards for
It's
21.
basically robbing
and the
the
other one's
casino
just like
versus robbing
yeah,
banks.
Yeah, it was kind of.
But that movie, Baby Driver, is a great movie. The one part of it that I fucking did not like was when Jamie Foxx showed up in that movie.
Yeah,
I
he was
like,
kind of an asshole in
Come
that movie.
on, I'm like anybody but Jamie Foxx in that role, and I give that movie almost like an A. But because they sold out. You already had Kevin Spacey and John Hamm and like several smoke show females.
Yeah, and then the other dude from The Walking Dead and
Yeah.
Wolf of Wall Street. He plays the Punisher on Netflix.
Yeah.
He was
Danny
fucking,
Bonaducci.
Yeah, yo, he's
whatever
fucking good.
I don't know if that's his real name, but that's what he that's what he looks like.
Yeah, he's really good. I thought
Yeah.
he was good.
And that cast, I really loved everything about it other than Jamie Foxx. And Jamie Foxx almost brought it around for me at the end, but it was still like I feel like it must have come out around Django because I feel like he was still Django in a way, but confident end of movie Django.
I think they came out a decent ways apart because Django came out in like 2012. It's an older
Yeah,
movie.
That's true.
It's bad. It was.
That's
I want to say there's like a
definitely
5 years difference with those.
true. Django. Yeah, you might be right. Then it's probably more along the lines of just Jamie Foxx playing Jamie Foxx in a movie, which is pretty much based on how good his costume is.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I agree.
That one movie, I never saw it, but he plays like that. He's like a violinist or something. And it's-
That one I never saw.
Yeah, we got to look that up.
Is that where he's like the homeless guy?
Yeah.
And then he ends up being like an incredible violinist.
Yeah, there's that one. I would see that. And then maybe I'll try myself on some Jamie Foxx.
Who was the guy?
I
in there?
fucking like
Don
Jamie
Cheadle
Foxx.
or something.
I like him. He's just that particular role. I was like, come on, he didn't fit. You already had like everybody that was like the cast was like the class system of the cast was already established, that you didn't need to bring in another power like character to offset the characters they already had, in my opinion.
Yeah, totally agree.
What's a movie that you want to recommend to our viewers based on the characters?
Based on the characters that are in the movie?
Sure.
Oh, shit. Well, like, what, I mean, I'm trying to think. Everybody's seen Goodfellas. I always recommend that. Like, we
Yeah.
were just talking about that. I mean, that's
Yeah.
fucking...
If you haven't seen Goodfellas,
It's just great. Like, everything about it is great. Even some of the stuff that they did wrong or whatever, like, when he shoots him, that guy that's in the trunk and he shoots him, there's no bullet holes in the tarp when he shoots him. Like, you just kind of see, you can, like, tell it's blanks.
yeah.
That looked kind of fake. But other than that, like, that's just something about that movie. Like,
Yeah.
you just can't stop watching.
That movie got me through a strange time in my life because I didn't have cable or internet. All I had was like a DVD player.
Yeah, dude. That's what we used to, so my friend had this house on the country. We had there was no TV, no internet, like no cell phone signal. You'd always be roaming, but we had a couple DVDs and that was one of them, and we'd watch that every fucking time.
Really?
Even if we weren't watching it, we would just put it in just to have it on in the background.
That's funny. Yeah, I was living like kind of over near Allentown, living the Allen rat life. Oh, that reminds me. Speaking of Allen rat life, I'll think of something. Don't let me forget to tell the Allen rat life. Sorry. But what were we just talking about?
Don't make me go there.
God damn it, Jer. Well, Allen rat life. R.I.P. Sly.
We were talking about movies. We were talking about Goodfellas and how we always watch that all the time.
I was living the Allen rat life, and I was
and that
basically
got you through a time.
Yeah, I was basically just going out like any chance I got and just going out to Allen and living the life, but I would travel like alone. And so I would just get home like late. If I didn't have to work in the morning, I would just like be up all night. No, it was kind of fun and super depressing at the same time. But in my travels of kind of getting into multiple different nooks and crannies along Allen, Chippewa, Elmwood, I pretty much have gone to seen like at least most of the things to see in Buffalo, I think. Sly, though, was a Buffalo urban legend who I know you're not too familiar with, but he apparently passed away this week, and he was like...
I saw that posted on Instagram, I think.
I mean, there's probably a shitload of people around that would be like, good riddance. Like, he was basically a homeless guy, I guess, but he was around Elmwood Village for like the last 10 years that I've lived down here. Ever since I went to Buff State, that guy would be walking around selling fans, selling plants. But he would always be around. And then, like, I saw an outpouring of people on social media that were all, like, writing very nice words about him being a very compassionate person. Like,
Who found out that he passed away? Like, how did that even come about?
That's a good point. I think it just kind of started getting around on the street. You know, somebody told somebody, and then it got to, like, there's a page called Urban Simplicity I think I follow that there's a dude that takes photos and he writes up nice little pieces on Facebook, and they're just like people around Buffalo and Allentown. That was one of the first places I saw it. I actually saw this kid I'm friends with. He posted about it, and I thought it was Sylvester Stallone initially.
Sly
like
Stallone.
Sly, and I hadn't seen Sly, but I'd see him over the last 10 years probably 20 times. One time, it was a beautiful summer day in Bidwell Park, and there was mad, like, hippie people and, like, people doing acro yoga, and there was music playing, and there was fucking jugglers and kids and wagons and dogs, and it was just one of those beautiful Elmwood Village days, and I was with my buddy, and we were probably half drunk, like, Saturday, like, 2 p.m. We were probably playing some drinking games or something in the lawn. Well, we go, like, walking through, like, kind of walking our bikes back over bicycles, not bikes, because I don't ride motorcycle, but my bicycle. We come out, like, rolling through, looking for someone to park, and then I see, like, a pair of feet up in the air. And I look, and it's somebody's got, like, just something over their eyes, but I can tell who it is, and it's fucking Sly. And Sly, like, basically looks like Kimbo Slice, like, bald, like, horseshoe, Oh my God, the horseshoe story. I still haven't told the horseshoe story, but I'm gonna save it.
We still got to go back to movie recommendations.
Yeah,
But that's only because I just thought of one
yeah, good.
that I don't think that many people have seen.
Okay.
I've definitely mentioned it to you before. It's Foxcatcher.
Oh yeah.
That movie is fucking great.
Tell me why you loved it in
So,
so many words.
in so many words, try to keep it brief. Netflix had a documentary called Foxcatcher, the Foxcatcher Ranch or something. I don't know. Either way, there's a
the
documentary.
true story of it.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's about this guy named John DuPont, part of the DuPont family. They're from PA. You know, a lot of money. This guy's just fucked up, weird. It seemed like, it seemed like, in the beginning of it, like he was really nice, and then you kind of see like he's got some issues. And he decided to sponsor this wrestling team, that they would train on Foxcatcher Ranch, which was his property. He had all these houses. All the wrestlers stayed there. Mark Schultz and Mike Schultz, I believe, the brothers. I hope that's their names. Please, if anybody has seen it and watches this, don't hate me if I get it wrong. But the Schultz brothers, I think it was Mark Schultz. He's like one of the best. He's a gold medalist, Olympic wrestler. Spoiler alert, by the way, too. I almost don't know if I want to say it.
I haven't seen it. Don't tell me.
No, I don't want to.
But you can
but it's
tell me without telling me.
So pretty much they're just.
I know Channing Tatum's in it.
Yeah. Channing Tatum.
Steve Carell.
Channing Tatum, Mark Ruffalo. They play the brothers, the Schultz brothers. And then Steve Carell plays John DuPont.
He plays the weirdo.
And so they kind of have on YouTube, they have, scene comparisons where they do an interview in the movie that's based off an interview in real life, and they play them side by side. He did a super job as far as like getting this guy's weirdness and his aura. Like he did such it's like one of Steve Carell's like best movies, if not his best movie, I think, to be honest with you. It's really fucking good.
I'm glad we got there. See, we had to talk about real life characters.
And I highly recommend watching the documentary first.
Yeah.
And then watching the movie. That's just me personally, though. Only because I love documentaries. Like, if I can only have a certain type of movie, it'd be documentaries, probably.
And that would be that one definitely. I don't know the outcome of the story, but technically that would be a trifecta, where it was at one point a headline, and then it became a documentary, and then it also became a full feature, which makes it a trifecta of storytelling experience, which makes it a banger.
Well, it's just that Mark Schultz guy that Mark Ruffalo plays.
Mm-hmm.
He had a really weird posture, kind of. He was like a super hairy guy, but the way he would walk, he would leave his hands kind of like this almost. This is bad, but
right. This is the guy.
The way Mark Ruffalo. That's why.
Oh, this is the guy that Mark Ruffalo played.
Yeah, Mark Schultz. He played him, and in the documentary, like they talk about it and everything, and then you watch the movie, and you just understand the movie a lot better if you watch the documentary first. Obviously, you know what's going to happen if you watch the documentary.
Well,
but
how would you say in the same breath? How would you say was there footage of Channing Tatum's character? And how do you feel he did based on the same kind of parallels?
Channing Tatum's character was really good. I think his name was Mike. I'm almost positive it was Mike Schultz.
Yeah. But Tatum,
he did a great job.
Gets cast, like, I've always been kind of a love-hate thing. He's always cast in really kind of corny roles that I feel like it's like, okay, anybody could have played this. But
up until 21 Jump Street
was pretty good. Yeah.
Like Jonah Hill talked him into doing 21 Jump Street. Like, yo, let's get you out of this persona that you're just like this guy who does dance movies and that type of stuff. But no, he did. This is another one of those movies that kind of, branched him out even more.
Definitely.
And dude, he was really good because he's like the main star of the movie. Is Channing Tatum's character.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that. Mike Schultz went into the UFC. He fought at like UFC fucking like 8 or something.
Damn,
or
really?
whatever. I think that's the only fight he did.
Foxcatcher, the guy from Foxcatcher, actually fought in the UFC after.
Mike Schultz, yeah,
Wow.
Channing Tatum's character.
I didn't know that.
And they show that in the movie. That's not going to ruin the movie for you.
Well, it's kind of
But they
cool.
do
I like
show
that.
that.
I like that you brought sports into it in a way because it's kind of interesting how if something is a lot of times sports stories just so happen to be documented because sports are documented so often. Whether it's like practice film, just people start bringing a camera around if shit and the press takes hold of it, and like it's pretty cool. Like that stuff from a headline all the way to 20 years later, books and those stories being told. Another one that you kind of reminded me of, two movies, but in the same kind of token was I noticed that the character in the movie The Fighter that Christian Bale plays, not necessarily Mark Wahlberg, who did very good. Again, he was cast in that movie, which should be a knockout for him. I mean, Jesus, Irish boxer. Okay, Mark Wahlberg, you're up. Read it. Like, okay, he's not acting. But Christian Bale, dude, his mannerisms, same thing as you. I seen like footage somewhere of the real guy, and oh my God, it's just so like eerily similar that it's like, how do you do that?
Yeah, he was really good in that. I think he didn't even took out one of his teeth or something for that shit too.
He might have, dude. He probably
gets
did.
really into his roles, man. He's hardcore.
I have a lot of respect for him. I think that if you're gonna be an actor, that's like those are the guys that I think I truly appreciate the most. That are like the ones that they do go into it, and even if they
who deserves to get paid $1 million some dollars. Because he fucking literally puts his life on the line.
Yeah.
And that movie he did, the Machinist or whatever the fuck it was.
Machinist. I've still never seen it.
Where he lost, I haven't seen it, but he lost all that weight. Like, he deserves to get paid because he literally, that's not fucking healthy. Like, he could have died. Like, he was probably close to dying just to do that movie.
They must really...
I heard the same about Joaquin Phoenix for Joker. I don't know how true that is, but...
Yeah, he was all writhy and skinny and
well,
weird.
if they're doing a second one, is he going to lose all that weight again, or is he going to be, like...
Are they doing a second one officially?
I thought they announced it
I think
already.
they, were kind of rumoring it, but I'll have to look into it because I think they were talking about it, but then it kind of got blown out of proportions, I feel. But I'll have to check up again. Ben Affleck's in a new movie, and that was one of my kind of signs to keep talking about just the power of alcohol, and I don't want to get into it too deep today, but I just thought that was kind of interesting that one of the things that I kind of dedicated not to talking about necessarily all the time on here, but I wanted to use the platform, the channel, the route, the whatever this is that we're doing, putting it on the record, putting it down, putting a date and time on it, whatever, when you boil it all down to the horse glue, whatever we're doing here, once again, I'll try to look for signs in life that show me I'm going in the right direction. And I had seen the story, I had seen Ben Affleck's new movie coming out a couple of months back because it's about a high school coach who he's an alcoholic that becomes a high school coach. And that's all I kind of knew going into it. And the movie is coming out tonight, actually, I think. I don't even know the title of it. It's Ben Affleck's new movie. But basically, he went on... Good Morning America or one of those shows with, I think, Diane Sawyer, and he did a big interview where he talked very intimately, very openly about all of his life struggles, and he kind of put some things out there that it was ballsy for him to say. It was real. Diane Sawyer, I think it is, that did the interview, but she was like...
Yeah, because they did one...
Yeah.
Like 20 years ago or something. They did the same type of one.
Actually, they were talking about that.
Whatever. Yeah.
And she just kept saying something like one thing she said was every time you say the word pain, your face changes. And that's from years of interviewing people. But another thing that she said or he said was that I learned from it was, well, not learned, but it was just, it was comparative and kind of therapeutic to hear. He was referring to a time in his life that he he thought like he quit drinking for a while and he came back to it and he said like that first time he quit, he was like basically like JV quitting. And then he kind of like would try to drink socially and then he'd do this and that. And like, I didn't even know, but I didn't really know he was an alcoholic. But I do now, and I feel a lot closer to him now. I actually like him a lot more, and I'll probably watch all of his shit a little bit differently now and think of him a little bit differently now that he kind of came out in a way. I like kind of have that connection with him in a weird backwards matrix way.
I knew about. So when I was a kid, I would always fake sick to stay home from school.
Really?
And I'd
Ferris
always
Bueller?
and I'd just sit there and watch HBO.
Yeah.
Like all day. There was
Yeah.
always just good TV on when I was supposed to be at school.
Yeah.
One of the movies was it was like a TV movie that he was in, that Ben Affleck was in, where he plays like this high school football player or college football player that's taking steroids,
Damn.
and he gets like roid rage, all this stuff.
I gotta find it.
dude,
I
it was-
don't know if I've seen that.
It's pretty.
Is it awful?
They make fun of it on South Park. They kind of do a parody of it.
Really?
Where Jimmy, the one on crutches,
Yeah.
he starts taking steroids and he does like the same thing in the movie and everything. It was it was a
Dude,
good
you gotta
episode.
find that.
But yeah, I'll pull it up. You want me to pull it up?
Yeah, see if
I'll
you
see
can
if I
find
can.
it. But it was pretty neat to see that he came out with it. He was talking about it. He talked about some things that kind of resonated with me, but also just the fact that more and more people are starting to open up about alcohol being a real problem, and you know the fact that things are becoming more and more easy to talk about. And then I think that you know sometimes if you don't talk about it, it's a lot worse than if you just did. I think that's kind of the case for everybody.
Yeah, definitely. I agree on that too.
Yeah. Let me see that.
I'll
Oh,
put a link to this video only
Yeah.
because it's illegal to play the audio and the video
Yeah.
for longer than like 15 seconds or something.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So Ben Affleck does know something about struggle. That was from '94.
Yeah, dude, that was. Yeah, that was a really good movie. Yeah, I think Ben
1994.
Affleck's he's kind of got a bad rep, you know, just
Well-
for personal stuff and doing the Daredevil movie.
We were just talking about him on the pod too, and I
Well, we talk about him a lot, I think.
Yeah.
But not in. I think
most of the time people
Interesting.
talk shitty about him, and that's what I'm saying. Like after seeing the real him, I'm kind of like, all right, I'm a little bit more interested in you now that I know who you really are.
Yeah, you know,
Did you see the TMZ video of him? Oh, and by the way, we just watched Life Stories Family in Crisis from Matt's reference from back in the day on HBO, Homebox Office, 1994.
it's up on YouTube. You can watch it for
Yeah,
free.
yeah, there's a whole episode on there. But
Yeah.
it was pretty sweet to see Ben Affleck acting crazy as fuck that long ago.
And this
Could've been
is like
25 years ago.
And this is like around the time he was in Mallrats. Like he was just getting noticed.
Dude, when he's in Dazed and Confused too.
So Dazed and Confused, I think, is 96, 97?
somewhere
So a
around
little
there.
bit after that.
But he's great in that.
So Kevin Smith found him, actually. It's kind of a funny story. So you obviously know Kevin Smith, Silent Bob.
Yeah.
Kevin Smith sold the movie Clerks to Harvey Weinstein for like $250,000.
Yeah.
So he became kind of friends with Harvey Weinstein. A lot of his movies were Weinstein Company or whatever. But Ben Affleck and Matt Damon gave the script for Good Will Hunting to Kevin Smith, and Kevin Smith gave that script to
Weinstein?
Harvey Weinstein,
Really?
and then they ended up winning friggin'
So
Oscars for it.
yeah, that's pretty interesting. I
That's
didn't
how
know
their
that.
whole relationship started
And
with
they're
Harvey
always in each
Weinstein.
other's movies and
Yeah.
shit randomly.
But like that's just how it all started with them and Harvey Weinstein. You know,
Wow.
because a lot of the movies that they ended up doing were with Harvey Weinstein, and they were like super close with them. And I think Matt Damon more. Don't quote me on this, please. Don't quote me. But I want to say I think Matt Damon was a little closer with him.
Well, they did Dogma too.
Dude, Dogma was like that was the first that wasn't the first. Shouldn't say that. Clerks was the first. But then I saw Dogma, and I'm like, dude, that is like one of the funniest movies I think I've ever seen.
It's got some really good scenes in
Dude, it has great scenes, and Jay is fucking hilarious. And dude, some of
Yeah.
the shit he says,
I
he's
feel like
nonstop.
that was the funniest that Jay ever was
He said he
maybe that
was
one.
during that movie. He said he was doing a lot of coke during that time, the making of that movie.
Well, it showed.
I mean, definitely, but he was fucking hilarious. In
Yeah.
that. And then in Clerks 2, I mean, all of them he's hilarious in, but in Clerks 2, I love when he's standing outside. Mega Move. Yeah, he does the friggin'
Would you fuck me?
Buffalo Bill scene, dude.
I'd fuck me.
It fucked me
I'd
so
fuck
hard.
me hard.
But it's like, why?
And he's just, and then it cuts to the other angle,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Dante's running through,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden he's just in the background.
like
and he's like, "What the fuck?"
What is that? You know?
Yeah. Him and Rosario Dawson. But you said cocaine, and it reminded me of my music recommendation of the week. I have two, based on the YouTube
Eric
algorithm.
Clapton?
Nope, close, but not really. It's like. So I listen to a lot of different music. I've always liked a lot of different music. But the last couple of years, I've really put all my trust in YouTube because Google owns YouTube. We do SEO here at work. And I have my phone logged into it on my... I have my phone logged into my YouTube. On my... So, yeah.
Do you pay for the premium YouTube?
No,
I do.
not at all. So I'm just logged in. I have my thing, and I'll like things from time to time. But only if I really, really, really like it. And I know that these all do this, but I just trust YouTube the best because it also has video involved, which usually adds a little bit better of an element and something else to do. I'll stream it with my Apple TV to the TV. But the one dude I found was Paul Cauthen. That's PaulCauthen. And I came across him on Thursday. Last night, I was just doing some music surfing on there, and he came across and he had a song called "Cocaine Country Blues" or "Cocaine Country Dancing."
Cocaine Country Dancing.
"Cocaine Country Dancing" by Paul Cauthen.
I want me
out.
some of that cocaine.
Dude, the video is great. The song is great. It's like humorous. The video and the song make it humorous, and it all brings it together. And I listened to a bunch of his other songs too, and they're all fucking just as good. Gets a little repetitive, but it's almost like Waylon Jennings of yesteryear meets like Dewey Cox, literally.
Dewey Cox.
Literally. Like, it sounds a little bit like Dewey Cox.
I reckon I want me some of that cocaine.
Exactly. Like, I would have to, if we had Paul Cauthen on this podcast, I would have to ask him if Dewey Cox inspired him in any way.
Get out of here, Dewey.
So that's one person that I'm putting on the list to get on our podcast, Paul Cauthen.
There we go. There's one.
So these are music recommendations and also people that I'd love to question here on our podcast.
10-4.
Paul Cauthen, and then also I found a dude named Rory, R-A-U-R-Y, Rory, like Maury, but with an R. And that song is called Devil's Whisper.
Devil's Whisper.
And that dude, I don't know, I never fucking heard of him before somehow, but he had a couple videos on there that were like 4 years old, and they were on Vivo, so he must have like had at least some connections. But he had some really cool shit on there. He's got like all different sounds. He's like a younger black dude, but he's got like, he'll go into like, he'll rap, but he'll also like go into, you know, almost like a Dirty Heads kind of West Coast vibe, but he'll also go into like strumming a guitar, and then there's also like some sick Kanye beats, like kind of style, like mixed in with like Kanye style vocals, and it all comes together really fucking good.
Yeah.
But those are two, and he had that video, so those two videos, you got to check them out. We'll put links in the shit here, and we'll put some info about it. But those are my two music recommendations, and I know you had a music recommendation also.
Yeah, mine are both by the same artist. So my recommendation. So why I'm recommending it. So why I snowboard, I always got to have music. It just makes it that much better, dude. You feel like when you're snowboarding and you got music and you can't hear anything else. Like you can't even hear your snowboard
Sounds so
scraping
good.
on the snow. You just hear the music and that's it, dude. So when I'm snowboarding, I like to listen to a lot of like EDM and stuff. Even like some oldies like Johnny B. Good or something from like, you know, everybody knows that from Back to the Future and stuff.
Yeah, dude.
But Chuck Berry, yeah.
I fucking love that era of music.
Yeah,
Just
me too.
sidebar.
But so what I like to listen to is like a lot of EDM and stuff. So my recommendation is Magic Sword is the artist, and both
Sounds good.
and the songs are Battlefield and Uprising. And one of the reasons I listen to it when I snowboard is because Travis Rice, one of my favorite snowboarders, probably my favorite snowboarder. Yeah, I guess he's
Is
my
he
favorite.
the one that fell off the mountaintop?
No.
Oh, but he does the mountaintop snowboarding.
Yeah, he does all that shit. Yeah,
Yeah,
he
okay.
does. Yeah, he does all that background.
You were
He has
saying-
the best movies.
Sorry.
But they're in the part of the fourth phase is one of the movies he did. They did like a little series of like the making of it and some behind the scenes type stuff, and they used those songs in like that behind the scenes type thing.
What was it called?
The fourth phase is the movie.
The fourth phase?
The fourth phase. It's the fourth
Say
phase
that 5
of
times fast.
meaning the fourth phase of water or something. I believe is
Like about snow?
snow or some shit. Yeah, like the evolution. Like the whole plan of that movie is they were trying to follow this fucking. I don't know. I can't explain it.
I'll
it's
check it
hard to
out.
explain.
We'll put it in the details.
But they snowboard all over. But that's it. That's all is a great movie with him too.
I mean,
Fucking-
what more can you ask for out of a podcast than a couple of guys talking about life, talking about losing cats and finding them, and human compassion, talking about music,
life,
talking
man.
about movies that are out, talking about movies that are coming out.
Yeah.
What more
Talking
could
about
you-
everything.
What more could you ask for out of a podcast? If I'm being fucking honest.
No joke, dude. I fucking love this podcast.
The only
it
thing-
is my favorite podcast.
The only thing, yeah, mine too. It is my favorite, but maybe not because I don't like watching myself too much. But I've learned a lot from watching myself. And there was a sales coach we had one time. He just like was a kind of a constituent. He taught us a lot about phone prospecting and cold calling, and I know that you've done a little bit of that, but I learned a lot from him. And one of the big things that he would say was to record all of your calls so that you can listen back to yourself.
Yep. That was part of the training too when I was doing that type of shit. is
Really?
You'd go into a room with your supervisor, team leader, whoever it is, and you'd listen back to the calls. You'd listen back to your own calls, and they'd critique you, and it's the most
they would-
uncomfortable thing ever.
So they would do it with you. You couldn't do it yourself.
I was able to do it myself, but they.
Well, you could, but
I
I'm
could,
saying
but
like
they
they
would-
were instilling it on you. Like,
Yeah, like they made it part of like
they
their
fucking put you in the corner and
like
sit you down.
once a month, once a
I don't
week,
fuck
whatever
with that
it is.
shit. I don't
And
fuck with that.
You listen to some of your calls. They tell you what you can do better. All
Oh,
this
fuck
shit.
off, Barry. I can do it however the fuck I
Yeah,
want.
it's like, dude,
you gotta
just-
let me make the magic here, babe.
I'm not a
Barry.
robot here. I'm calling people and I'm just trying to talk to them,
Yeah.
introduce myself. You got to sell yourself before you can sell somebody a fucking product.
I will say that like
service.
even smiling on the phone. And
Yeah,
like,
when you smile on the phone,
then I
like
feel
you
like
already sound happier. Like I'm smiling right now and I sound happy.
you
and now I'm not
sound
smiling
like
and
a
I just sound
fucking
normal.
lunatic. You
Yeah.
sounded like Joaquin as the Joker. But
Joaquin.
no, that I did a lot of watching myself on film as a young athlete. My parents and my brother would always kind of film all my games, and we would break them down. And same thing, but a little bit. It was all love, It was all like them wanting me to be better. So I learned to kind of try to self-critique myself, and I've been doing that on these little videos. And that was one of the things I saw in that podcast group was that not a lot of people had the courage to get on video. I saw, here's an example. One thing I saw on there, somebody said, if you had 10 grand for a marketing budget, that's what they said. 10 grand for a marketing budget, what would you do? And somebody literally wrote, my first video podcast. And I was like, damn.
10 grand? You fucking
It's lit. Yeah, you don't need 10 grand.
no, dude.
You just got to keep practicing.
I actually had to go to that. I found this mixer.
Okay.
It's so it's made by like Rode mic and everything.
No.
Like the little microphones you put on top of a camera. It says Rode on it.
This is why you need two types of personalities to do this. Because you need somebody on the tech side that knows their shit. You need somebody that can just continue to make up content and can always make sure that we have something to talk about.
Well, I wanna get this for our podcast actually.
Yeah.
But it
Tell me more
it
about
costs
it.
a lot of money though, so we'd have to wait until.
Sell me on it.
So let me start with the price. It's just to scare you before the beginning. Let me talk about it. So it's $600.
Okay.
All right. It's 4-channel. It's super user friendly. It doesn't have a bunch of twisty knobs on it.
Yeah.
It just has. It's got the little pads for the effects. You just hit the pad
That's-
and it make like a fart noise or whatever you'd
Bro,
want
if
it to
we
do.
have anything that has those pads on it, and I could put noises onto those
Yeah.
pads,
And
I'm
that's
down.
what I mean. And this one, I understand why it costs a
And
decent,
my tax
buck.
return is spent.
Ooh.
No, I don't know.
That might have
I'm
to go.
saying though.
Well, I gotta send back that other one. I still got like 2 weeks before I can't send it back, so I'm gonna send it back. That'll give us some money back. I don't want to
Okay.
tell you what we got. I don't
Yeah.
want to talk shit about the company, but
No,
the
yeah.
the thing doesn't do what it's fucking said that it would fucking do in the description.
shit.
Yeah, so it's supposed to have an interface
TiVo.
to the computer. So you plug the mixer into your computer via USB, and then it's supposed to populate using like Audacity or whatever program you use. It's recommended that you use Audacity, but nothing fucking works. I used it on a Mac. I used it on a PC, 2 different PCs, and just nothing. And, you'd reach out to them. They say, oh, well, it's supposed to work. It's supposed to work. Well, you know what? It's not doing anything. So we're sending that back. I think our audio is good for now. But I think we should invest in that because it's got 4 channels, so we can get 2 more
absolutely.
mics.
Yeah, so then when we have more
and like
people
I said,
here.
super user friendly,
One of the
and
other
it does
things-
connect to your computer.
Yeah, here's an example of what I want to try to contribute as we move forward, like as another kind of counter idea is, as you say, you open up that opportunity for me to have 2 more people, and we've been saying how having a couple more people around the studio will enable us to have some more laughter and some more liveliness to it, so that it's not just like necessarily us here, but we also have a couple more souls in the room that
Yeah.
will probably add a little bit more element as well.
I thought of a couple people that I'd like to bring on. Probably my friend Ian, that
Yeah.
I do my other business with, or we're trying to. And he actually, the other job I'm doing, where I'm going to be traveling and everything, he does that as well. He went to school for, film, videography, whatever you want to call it. I'm not exactly sure what his degree is in, but it's in
Yeah.
that field.
It's in one of them.
And he's done a couple podcasts, and he's got like a radio voice. Like
Yeah.
he manipulates his voice, and he does it
Yeah.
like really good. He played it for me before, and I'm like, that kind of. That was one of
Yeah.
the things that got me excited about it. And he only used, I think it was just like a basic Blue Yeti or something.
Yeah.
And it came out really good. I'd like to have him on sometime, possibly.
Well, that's the thing about your voice is you never really kind of hear your own voice, and I can
Yeah.
do a million different voices. Like I can do a million different voices. I can do any voice that I want if I wanted to. But I don't know my own voice, and we've talked about music before, and I've always loved music, and I don't have any. I tried to teach myself how to play guitar a few years back. I learned Wonderwall. Literally was that guy when I was like 20 years old that I was like, I'm going to teach myself guitar. I learned Wonderwall. I bought all this stuff, and then I never got better. But anyways, I've always had a passion for musicians like Kanye, like there's a chick from Detroit, and I'm going to think Flint Eastwood, with like Clint Eastwood, but Flint, Michigan, Flint Eastwood. She is another kind of like Kanye disciple almost, where her sound, she's a white chick from Michigan, and she just bumps shit. It's all red lights and everything, and like the beats are so good and the lyrics are so good, and like nobody's necessarily like playing a guitar or singing the right way. And I've always had a passion for music, so like even playing around with this stuff has opened my eyes to a lot of different things like that. And that's why I got so excited and lit up over the idea of having one of those things, because you have a musical background and you've actually played in a band and you have some audio technical knowledge. And I feel like someday we might end up making some music even. Who knows? Imagine the zoo.
You know what's funny? It's about a half hour ago during this podcast, I was thinking of something. While you were talking, I'm like thinking, can we do like remotes or something? Can we do like a music video, like gimmick thing, just to do it where we
have some more content?
Yeah, just to get some more content.
Well,
I'm just
there's
thinking,
that, and also we should do maybe something like that. I also thought like we could probably do some like on the green screen, like almost like Tosh.0 delivery content too, where like me and you kind of take turns reading some things off, like
we can do some shit like
news
that.
story deliveries, and we
Yeah,
can
let's-
practice our on-air personalities.
Let's add some production value.
Yeah, and
Let's
add
get
to our
that
resume,
production
and
value,
add
yeah.
to our personal resume of what we can or can't do, and keep getting better at it.
In the words of one of our interns, let's make it straight fire, bro.
Straight fire. I love using the word fire, and like even Chris D'Elia will make fun of shit. And he says, like, even just on his most recent one, he said something about when a white dude calls another white dude dog, fuck you. And I'm like, yo, I recently just started doing that, and I think it is really fun, dog. So I want to keep doing that.
Randy Jackson style.
Yeah, it's not from me. It's not for me, dog. But yeah, there's a couple guys at work that say "cuz." That seems to be making a comeback around the waves. Yeah, cuz.
Have you ever
What's
seen?
up, cuz?
Have you ever seen? I want to say it's Scary Movie 2.
Oh my god, those are my favorite movies.
But he shit. No. It's Haunted House with the one Wayne's brother.
Okay. It's been a while, but yeah, I saw it. I think.
He's got his one.
It was after
his
they
cousin,
made Scary Movie.
He's like he's calls these guys because his house is possessed or whatever.
No more locked doors, Holmes.
Yeah,
I don't know why I just thought of that.
And so they call him over, whatever. They're trying to I don't know what the fuck they're doing, but he's just like, what, you letting somebody fuck your girl, cuz? He's like, yo, I been won't fuck your girl or whatever, or some shit like that. But he's always saying, he's like, come on, cuz. What up, cuz? Like they're driving in the car in the one movie. I think this is from the first one. I might have to play that, dude, because it's like the funniest fucking thing.
Yeah.
And he's just like, come on, cuz. You know what I'm saying? Cuz. Like,
Yeah.
he's always just,
I feel like that's coming back. Yeah, let me see it. Yeah, that's
I can
pretty
watch
good.
those clips. I got to put those
Yeah.
links in there.
That's
just,
pretty good. I've never seen that.
Come on, cuz. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
come
I
on,
been
homie.
want to fuck your girl, cuz.
Yeah, what the fuck, hum? Yeah,
I
so
used to talk like that to my buddy. Like,
so I'm
all
gonna
the
say
time.
cuz and I'm gonna say dog probably.
Homie. I like how he doesn't say homie. He's like, homie.
Yeah.
I love saying that shit, dude.
Yeah, homie. So yeah, I don't know. Where are you going next? I gotta get out of here. I gotta get
let's
home
get
and
out of here. It's
get
been a
back to
long
my
day.
cat.
I got a long
he's
drive.
probably gonna be sleeping for a while, but I want to see him. So
So I'm going to Short Hills, New Jersey for the weekend. Got a little
Damn.
film shoot up there this weekend for my second job.
second job.
Yeah, so I'm done with the ski resort. End of the season.
Because we out here hustling, trying to get better.
Yeah, trying to get better, trying to make that green.
Yeah, trying to make that green and keep doing shit like this.
So I'll be in New Jersey until Sunday. Leave tomorrow. Coming back Sunday, and then we're going to do the podcast Sunday night, which will be cool. So I'll give you a little recap.
Yeah.
Not a recap, but I'll give you a little run through how it was. I don't think I'm going to be able to really do too much other than driving there, filming, going to sleep, waking up, and driving back.
And that's being a videographer in 2020.
Yeah, man.
That's getting them shots.
Yeah, I went and got my rental car and everything. It's still there. Because I had to empty out my car, but I pretty much just went and got the keys. So when I leave here, I'm actually going to pick up that rental.
Oh, cool. So you are taking a rental. That's a good idea.
Yeah, so they pay for all of it. They pay for the gas. They
nice.
pay for the food.
Do you get nervous driving a rental like
No.
to New York City or whatever?
No, not at all.
That would be a little nerve wracking to me. I'd almost want my own car.
No,
I get kind of
don't give a
stiff
fuck.
down in that New York
So
City driving.
I took my car the one time, and I got a new car. It's a nice car, I think, but I got a lot of miles on it, and it's because I did a lot of the driving on my own car.
Yeah.
But the one time I was in Syracuse, and it broke down on me on the thruway.
Oh my god.
It was actually ended up being a recall in my car, which is what was fucked up on it. But I had to get it towed from Syracuse back to here.
Oh
I had to use my brother's AAA.
yeah. Luckily.
Yeah, and then he got like the first 100 miles free, but I was like 120
Yeah.
miles out, so I had to pay for the other 20 miles, and it's like, I don't know. I forgot how much it is per mile. But you
Yeah.
have to pay
It
for
always
that, so
depends. Yeah.
came out to a little decent buck, but at least I got it back and everything, and it's obviously fixed. But yeah, I won't drive my car again.
Yeah,
on one of these work trips.
I'm gonna be working at the restaurant. Also, my big bro's got he's coaching a basketball game, so they got a big game this weekend.
That's tomorrow, right? Saturday?
Yep, tomorrow night. It's gonna be down at Buff State, so I'm gonna be going back to my old stomping grounds where I played a little bit of football and learned a lot.
Yeah.
But it's always fun going back there. I used to go a lot as a kid, even growing up, and watching the kids from when I was little. I watched, and I played there in high school in basketball, that is, and then I like to go back. And now he's a coach, and it's really fun to watch him kind of be a leader and sort of instill the madness that he always instilled on me on a bunch of younger guys.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping that my brother decides to be a little league coach.
Yeah.
My brother Derek. So
It's-
then I can
it's
come be the
definitely-
assistant coach
Yeah.
for baseball. I'd love to do that.
It's one of the most satisfying.
I bet it would be, yeah.
I haven't done it yet. I'm kind of waiting, but watching my brother do it has been like one of my favorite things to do for the last 10 years probably, because every year he's got a different team, but every year he's got him no matter what sort of personnel he has, they always maintain a certain sense of pride in the program.
Oh, I
and
bet.
he's established such a just a powerful voice amongst them that it's you can tell sometimes he pisses him off like any coach, but you can also tell that he really cares about them and they really care about him, and that's why they're always pretty successful.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's
That
fun
really
to
is.
watch. Yeah, so I'll be doing that, and then I'll be hoping that you get back safe with your rental. What
For
kind
sure.
of car are you getting?
So
for the
they gave
rental?
me it's a Nissan Sentra, I believe it is. It's like a
Okay.
2020. It looked pretty nice. I pulled
not
up there,
bad.
dude. I saw a Ford Fiesta.
At least
which
you
is
don't
like
have
a
to worry
really
about
tiny
smoking
car.
in it, bro. You got a vape.
I got a vape. I'm good to go there.
That was always a challenge with renting cars.
I still fucking smoke.
You did?
when I did smoke
Did
cigarettes.
you ever get the fee?
No.
I got in one once,
No.
and they were like really adamant about like not smoking in it, and I got in it, and it smelled like smoke, and I was like, "Yo, are they gonna think this was me?"
Yeah, that's when you go back in there and tell them right away, yo,
I-
like I can smell it. Can you smell it? I want you thinking it's me or any scratches. But yeah, it's all under the company. But no,
Yeah.
they've never
Well, that's good.
busted me smoking.
Well, you don't
cigs.
got to worry about it. And I'm actually, to update the viewers, I haven't had a cigarette since last Sunday.
That's
so I'm
good.
on 5 days no cigs. That's like the longest I've gone in a long
That's
time.
killer.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, you really start after a couple more weeks. You're gonna feel even like better and better, and then
Yeah.
eventually you're not even gonna want it. I do recommend that you get one of these just because
Yeah.
you get a bigger hit, and it's not that those don't work. It's just more satisfying,
Really?
at least in my opinion, using this.
Really?
And plus, it lasts longer.
Well, that's one thing. I have
Yeah.
been back to the store a couple times to
Yeah.
pick them up.
I would definitely look into that
I will.
for sure.
So I guess
think-
we're going to sign out.
Yeah, let's both have a solid Saturday. We'll meet up on Sunday.
Yeah.
Discuss some plans that we got coming up
we'll
for Reg in the
up,
Zoo.
Rest up, get better.
I believe
And
so.
I think we'll give a nice wrap on episode 4, baby.
Episode 4, 5 coming to you in a couple days.
We'll see you soon.
Take care.